The Gardener's Path, Mastery of the Inner Seed. Introduction. The young student climbed the mountain and reached the ancient temple. The master gardener looked up and said, "Welcome back to our sanctuary. Today, we are going to talk about something very powerful, something that is silently controlling your journey, your inner whispers. Every day, you are whispering something to yourself, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. But have you ever asked yourself, what are these whispers doing to your path? Here is the truth. You become what you whisper. If you think you are a brittle branch, you will feel brittle. If you think you can reach the sun, you will start growing. Your mind is not just a vessel, it is the soil shaping your reality. And in this temple, you will understand how your seeds control your life and how you can change your planting to change your future. Everything will be explained in very simple language so you can understand easily and start applying it today. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Your seeds create your landscape. The starting point of everything. Every day. From the moment the sun rises to the moment the moon appears, your inner garden is always active. You may not notice it, but thousands of seeds are falling inside your soil. Some seeds are for flowers, some are for thorns. But here is the most important truth. Your landscape follows your seeds. What does it mean? It means the way you perceive slowly becomes the way you feel, and the way you move, and your movements create your life. So the process is simple. Seeds, feelings, movements, results. If your seeds are weak, your movements will be weak and your life will become weak. If your seeds are strong, your movements will become strong and your life will improve. The hidden power of the gardener. Most people don't control their seeds. They just let whatever wind blows enter their soil. They say, "I can't climb this mountain. I am not a strong enough climber. My path will not change." At first, these are just whispers, but when you repeat them again and again, they become deep roots. And once something becomes a root, it controls how you stand. Simple example, imagine a traveler who always thinks, "I am not a steady walker." Because of this seed, he avoids the steep paths, he avoids the high bridges, he stays in the valley. And because of these movements, your mind is like a garden. Think of your mind like a garden. Your thoughts are like seeds. If you plant negative seeds, fear, doubt, and excuses will grow. If you plant positive seeds, confidence, action, and growth will grow. But here is the important part. If you don't choose your seeds, thorns will grow automatically. So you must choose what you plant in your soil. Why negative planting is dangerous? Negative seeds feel normal because most people plant thorns, but negative planting slowly destroys your spirit. It makes you feel weak, feel scared, feel stuck. And when your spirit feels like this, you stop moving forward. No movement means no change. Positive planting is not a fairy tale. Many people think positive planting is fake. They say, "I should be realistic about the rocks." But positive planting is not about ignoring the rocks. It is about choosing a better path through them. Instead of saying, "I can't pass this cliff," you say, "I will try and find a ledge." This small change creates a big difference. Control your seeds step by step. You cannot control every wind, but you can control what you water. When a thorn seed comes, don't let it take root immediately. Pause. Ask yourself, is this helping my garden? If the answer is no, replace it with a flower seed. Train your gardener's eye daily. Just like your body needs the climb, your mind also needs training. You must practice positive planting daily. For example, I am improving with every step. I can learn this path. I will not stay in the valley. At first, it may feel strange, but slowly your soil will accept it. Your future starts in your garden. Before success happens in the kingdom, it starts in your seeds. Every great leader first believes, then acts, then achieves. If you don't believe, you will not take a single step, and without movement, nothing changes. Common mistake to avoid. Don't say, I will change my garden when the weather becomes better. No, the weather becomes better when your gardening becomes better. Simple practice. You can start today. Today. Watch your seeds carefully. When you think something negative, stop, change it into a better sentence. Do this again and again. This small habit can change your life. Your seeds are not small. They are the blueprint of your kingdom. If you want to change your life, start by changing your seeds. Choose better seeds. Build strong roots. Take better movements. Because in life, you don't become what you want. You become what you plant. Lesson 2. The soil believes what you repeat. The power of the inner echo. Every day you are talking to someone, but that someone is not another traveler. It is you, inside your temple. You are always speaking to yourself. This is called the inner echo. And here is the truth. Your inner echo is carving your life. What is inner echo? It is the voice inside your head. It says things like, I can climb this. I am not ready. I will try again. I always stumble. These echoes may look small, but they are very powerful because your soil listens to them again and again every day. The real problem, most people don't control their inner echo. They speak to themselves in a harsh way. They say, I am a failure. I am not bright. I will never reach the peak. And slowly, their soil starts believing it. How your soil works? Your soil does not check if the seed is a lie or a truth. It only checks one thing: how many times you drop it. If you drop a seed again and again, your soil accepts it as truth, even if it is a thorn. Simple example. Imagine a student who says every day, I am bad at the ancient languages. At first, it is just an echo, but after repeating it many times, he starts believing it. Because of this belief, he avoids the library. He feels nervous, he loses confidence, and finally, he becomes bad at the languages. Not because his brain was weak, but because he trained his soil to believe it. Positive echoes change everything. Now imagine the same student says, I am learning the scrolls every day. I am improving slowly. I will become a scholar. These echoes are simple but powerful. Now his soil believes growth is possible. He starts studying, he reads more, he improves, and his life starts changing. Why repetition is so powerful? Repetition builds the root. What you repeat, your soil accepts. What your soil accepts, you start moving on, and your movements create your reality. You are programming your inner temple. Think of your mind like a temple. Your inner echo is the prayer. If your prayer is negative, your temple will feel dark. If your prayer is positive, your temple will shine. So the question is, what are you telling yourself every day? Replace negative echoes. You cannot stop all echoes, but you can replace them. For example, instead of I can't do this, say I will try and learn. Instead of I am not brave, say I am building courage. Small changes, big results. Speak to yourself like a master speaks to a student. Ask yourself one question. Would I talk to my best friend like this? If your answer is no, then don't talk to yourself like that. Be kind to your spirit. Support yourself, because your soil listens to your voice. Practice daily inner echoes. Make it a habit. Every day, say positive sentences to yourself. For example, I'm getting better every day. I will not give up. I am strong enough to reach the peak. At first, it may feel strange, but with repetition, your soil will accept it. Sunrise and sunset routine. The best time to train your soil is at sunrise when you wake up and at sunset before you sleep, because your soil is more open at that time. Use these moments wisely. Common mistake to avoid. Don't say positive words once and negative words all day. Consistency is the water of life. Repeat your new echoes daily. Simple practice you can start today. Choose 3 positive sentences. Repeat them at sunrise. Repeat them at sunset. Speak them with belief. Do this every day. Your soil believes what you tell it again and again. Watch your words. Control your inner echo. Repeat strong seeds daily. Because in life, the way you speak to yourself decides the master you become. Lesson 3. Where the sun shines, the forest grows. Control your light. Control your life. Every day, your mind is looking at something. It is shining its light on something. It is focusing on something. And here is a powerful truth. Whatever you shine your light on grows in your life. The hidden power of focus. Your mind is like a lantern. It cannot light up the whole mountain at once. It chooses one path and gives energy to it. If you focus on the shadows, your shadows feel bigger. If you focus on the wolves, your fear becomes stronger. If you focus on the summit, your progress becomes faster. The problem most travelers have: most travelers don't control their lantern. Their light jumps from one shadow to another. They focus on bad news from other lands, past falls, other people's whispers, fear and doubt. And slowly, their mind becomes dark. Simple example: imagine 2 travelers. Traveler A focuses on what is rocky on the path. He thinks, my path is too steep. I don't have a walking stick. Everything is difficult. Now what happens? He feels weak. He loses motivation. He stops moving. Traveler B focuses on what he can do. He thinks, what can I improve today? What small step can I take? Now what happens? He feels active. He takes a step.
Your light
he improves
creates your feelings.
slowly.
If you
Same
focus on the
mountain,
dark,
different
you
lantern,
feel dark.
different
If you
results.
focus on the light, you feel light. Your feelings are not random. They come from your lantern. Negative focus is dangerous. Negative focus feels natural because your brain is designed to look for traps. But if you don't control it, you start thinking, I am not a good traveler. I will fall. My journey is not improving. This creates fear and stress, and when your mind is full of fear, you stop climbing. Master-level thinking. Successful masters control their light. They don't ignore the traps, but they don't stay stuck in them. They focus on the bridge, the growth, the opportunities. They ask, what can I do next? This simple question changes everything. Train your mind to shine right. You cannot stop every shadow, but you can guide the lantern. When your light goes to the negative, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping my climb? If not, change your focus. Shift your attention. Instead of thinking, I stumbled, think, what did the stumble teach me? Instead of thinking, this is hard, think, how can I get stronger? This shift is small but powerful. Focus on the climb, not the fear. Fear comes from looking at the drop. Action comes from focusing on the next handhold. So always ask, what is my next step? Then take that step. This builds confidence. Daily light practice. Every day, choose one thing to focus on. For example, today I will focus on my breathing. Today I will focus on my pace. Today I will focus on my strength. Keep your lantern on that direction.
Common mistake to avoid. Don't focus on storms you cannot control. The past is a valley you have already left. Other people's whispers don't matter. Focus on what you can control. Your seeds, your steps, your effort. Simple practice? You can start today. Right now, ask yourself, what am I shining my light on? If it is a shadow, change it immediately. Focus on one positive movement. Energy flows where the lantern glows. Control your light, train your mind, choose what you think about. Because in life, the traveler who controls their lantern controls their direction and controls their arrival at the peak. Lesson 4. Your beliefs are your horizon. Break the invisible cage. What is a belief? A belief is a truth you have locked in your heart. It is not just a passing cloud. It is a stone foundation, repeated many times until your mind says, this is the world. For example, I am not a leader. I cannot master the sword. I am not worthy. These are not laws of the universe. These are beliefs. Why beliefs are so powerful? Beliefs control your feet. If you believe you can cross the river, simple example. Imagine two students. Student A believes, I cannot learn the arts. Because of this belief, he avoids the brush. He feels afraid. He never practices. So he stays at the same level. Student B believes, I can learn step by step. Because of this belief, he tries. He paints daily. He improves slowly. Same temple, different belief, different result. Where do beliefs come from? Beliefs don't come from the sun. They come from old falls, other people's cold words, repeated negative whispers. For example, if a teacher corrected you once, you may believe, I am a bad student. But one correction does not define your destiny. The danger of negative beliefs. Negative beliefs shrink your world. They make you feel small, think small, act small. And when your actions are small, your harvest stays small. The power of positive beliefs. Now imagine you change your horizon. Instead of, I can't do this, you say, I can learn this with time. Now your mind opens. You take a step. You improve. You grow. Belief comes before the harvest. Many people say, I will believe when I see the fruit. But masters think differently. They say, I will believe in the seed first. Then I will grow the fruit. Belief comes before success.
How to change your beliefs? You cannot move a mountain in one day, but you can move a stone step by step. First, notice your belief. Ask yourself, what do I believe about my strength? Second, question it. Is this a law of nature or just a thought? Third, replace it. I am growing. I am becoming. I can reach. Repeat until it becomes the ground you walk on. Just like negative beliefs were built by repetition, positive beliefs are also built by repetition. Say it daily. Think it daily. Act on it daily. Slowly, your new belief becomes a mountain. Act like your new belief. Don't just think of the peak, move like a climber. If you believe you can improve, start climbing. Action makes belief solid. Common mistake to avoid? Don't say, this is just my blood. No, your beliefs are not in your blood. They can be changed. Simple practice? You can start today. Write one negative belief you have on a piece of paper. Then write a new positive belief. Repeat it daily. Act on it. Your beliefs are not facts. They are maps. Break your limits. Change your maps. Open your mind. Because in life, you don't rise higher than your horizon. You rise to the level of your belief.
Lesson 5. Your feet follow your heart. Your whispers do not stay only in your temple. Slowly, they become your steps, and your steps become your journey. That is why a whisper is not a small thing. It is the beginning of every mile you walk. Whispers create feelings. Before you take a step, you usually feel something. If you think, I can't cross this, you feel cold. If you think, I can try this, you feel warmth. So first comes the whisper, then comes the feeling, then comes the step. This is why your whispers are so powerful. Negative whispers create weak steps. If your mind is full of negative whispers, your feet become heavy. You delay, you avoid, you stop, you give excuses. Not because you are a coward, not because you were born slow, but because your mind is giving your legs the wrong command. Your mind says, you cannot do this, so your body stops trying. Positive whispers create strong steps. Now imagine your mind says, I can improve, I can learn, I can take one small step. I don't need to reach the peak today. Now your body listens to a different command. You start, you try, you practice, you move forward. That is how better whispering creates better walking. Small whispers can create big changes. Many people wait for a giant eagle to carry them to the top, but real travel usually starts with one small whisper. One day you think, I am tired of sitting in the mud. Then you take one small step. You stand up a little earlier. You practice your skills for 10 minutes. You map your goal. You stop wasting 1 hour. You speak one word with courage. That's small. Your spirit needs proof. Your mind does not believe only echoes forever. It needs proof. If you keep saying, I am a warrior, but you never pick up the sword, your mind will not fully believe it. But if you say, I am a warrior, and then you swing the sword once, your mind gets proof. It says, yes, this is true. I can do it. That is why the step is very important. Your whispers start the change, but your steps prove the change. Do not wait for perfect courage. Many people say, I will climb when I no longer feel the height. But courage does not come before the climb. Courage comes during the climb. First you try, then you learn, then you improve. Then courage comes. So don't wait until you feel ready. Start before you feel ready. Take one small step. That small step will teach your mind, I am not a stone. I can move. Change your inner decree. Your whispers are like decrees from a king to his army. If your inner decree is retreat, hide, wait, do it next season, your life will stay stuck. But if your inner decree is try, start, practice, take one step, your life will begin to move. So every morning, give your mind a better decree. Say, today I will take one small step. Today I will not let the mist stop me. Today I will do what helps my future.
The dangerous swamp of overmapping. Overmapping is when you look at the map too much but walk too little. You think about every rock. You imagine every storm. You worry about every mistake. And after all that mapping, you stay in the tent. This is dangerous because the path does not change by looking at the map alone. The path changes when mapping becomes walking. So whenever you catch yourself overmapping, ask one simple question. What is one small step I can take now? Then take it. One small step is better than 1,000 maps. A small movement is more powerful than a grand plan that never leaves the tent. Reading one page of the scroll is better than planning to read the whole library someday. Speaking one new word is better than waiting for perfect speech. Doing one exercise is better than dreaming about health. Saving one coin is better than only dreaming about gold. Small steps build a real master. It tells your mind, I am becoming that person. Your identity changes through the walk. When you repeat steps, you start seeing yourself differently. If you practice daily, you start thinking, I am a consistent traveler. If you speak daily, you start thinking, I am becoming a voice. If you learn daily, you start thinking, I am a scholar. Your steps create your name, and your name creates your future. Common mistake to avoid. Do not only listen to the master's words and then do nothing. Words can make you feel warm for a short time, but walking makes you strong in the cold. After every powerful thought, take one step, even a small step, because without the step, thoughts are just ghosts. With the step, thoughts become mountains.
Simple practice. You can start today. Choose one whisper you want to become real. For example, I am improving my skills. Now take one step that proves it. Practice for 10 minutes. Write 5 notes. Listen carefully for 15 minutes. Speak one short lesson out loud. Do this today, not tomorrow, today. Because today's step builds tomorrow's road. Your whispers begin your journey, but your steps build your road. Think better. Speak better to yourself. Focus better. Believe better. But after that, move. Take one small step. Because in life, you don't become what you think only. You become what you think, repeat, and do every day. Lesson 6. The forest around you shapes your branches. Choose the air you breathe. What is the forest? The forest is everything around you. The travelers you talk to, the scrolls you watch, the songs you listen to, the stories you hear every day. All these things slowly enter your soil and become your whispers. The real truth? You think your whispers are your own, but many of your whispers come from the forest around you. If you are surrounded by dying trees, your mind becomes brittle. If you are surrounded by ancient oaks, your spirit becomes strong. Simple example. Imagine two seeds. Seed A grows in a field where everyone complains. They say, the sun is too hot, the rain is too cold, we will never grow. Now what happens? Seed A starts whispering the same way. It loses its will to reach up. It stops growing. Seed B grows with the ancient oaks. They say, reach for the light, drink the rain, we can grow taller. Now what happens? Seed B becomes active. It pushes through the dirt. It improves. Same sun, different forest, different life.
Your soil absorbs everything. Your mind is always listening, even when you are resting under the stars. The things you watch, the things you hear, they slowly enter your deep roots, and after some time, they become your thinking. Why a toxic forest is dangerous? A toxic forest is very powerful. It makes you doubt your roots, fear the storm, avoid the sky. Think like a shrub. And slowly, you start believing that you cannot reach the clouds. Choose your rain carefully. If you want to change your whispers, you must change what enters your forest. This means watch better scrolls, listen to wise ideas, read useful things, because what you feed your soil becomes your strength. You can plant your own forest. Even if the land around you is not perfect, you can still build a garden. You can choose what scrolls you read, choose what stories you listen to, choose what ideas you follow. You don't need to depend on the weeds. You can design your own sanctuary. Limit the bitter winds. You cannot stop all the wind, but you can build a wall. Spend less time with people who always complain, stories that waste your time, things that make you feel small. Protect your soil. Fill your temple with growth every day. Give your mind something bright. Listen to grand ideas. Think about your summit. Focus on the climb. Slowly, your thinking will change.
Your forest creates your strength. If you stay in a strong forest, you become strong. If you stay in a weak field, you become weak. Because your forest shapes your habits, and your habits shape your name. Common mistake to avoid. Don't say, my forest is bad, so I cannot reach the sun. This is a heavy chain. Even in a dark forest, you can find a patch of light. Growth is still possible. Simple practice. You can start today. Today. Check your forest. Ask yourself, what am I watching? What am I listening to? What kind of travelers are around me? Then make one small change. Choose one positive story. Your forest feeds your mind, and your mind creates your life. Protect your whispers. Choose your forest. Control what enters your soil. Because in life, you don't just become what you think, you become what you are surrounded by. Lesson 7. Walk your own path. No one is carrying your pack. Now listen carefully. This is one of the most powerful truths you will ever hear in this temple. Most people spend their whole life looking at other travelers. What will they say about my boots? What will they think about my pace? What if they judge my climb? Because of this, they stop their feet. They don't speak. They don't try. They don't grow. And slowly, they lose their own journey just trying to walk in someone else's shadow.
No savior is coming up the mountain. This is a hard truth. No one is coming to carry you. No one will come and say, let me do the climbing for you. No one will come and give you breath. No one will come and push you every mile. It is your mountain. If you don't focus on your own grip, you fall. If you keep thinking about others, the seasons will pass, the sun will set, your peaks will stay unreached. And one day, you will realize you wasted your journey thinking about travelers who never even looked your way. Think about your own reach. Start focusing on your own soul. Your skills, your rituals, your mindset, your peak. Ask yourself daily, what can I strengthen today? This question will change your compass. Stop seeking the nod of the crowd. Many travelers wait for a nod. They want someone to say, you are a good climber. You can do this. But if you depend on their nod, you will always be a servant. Start nodding to yourself. Say, I am climbing. I am trying. I will not stop. Your life is your mountain. If you reach the top, it is because of your hands. If you stay in the valley, it is also because of your choice. This may sound heavy, but this is the ultimate freedom, because now you hold the rope. Simple example. Imagine you want to sing at the temple, but you think, what if they mock my voice? So you stay silent. Decades pass. You still have no song.
Simple practice you can start today. Today, you stop worrying about other travelers. For one day, focus only on your own soul, your improvement, your step, your growth. Do one thing that makes you more skillful. If you keep looking at others, you will lose your path. If you start looking at yourself, you will build your mountain. Stop living for the village. Stop fearing the gossip. Focus on your life. Focus on your growth. Focus on your peak. Because in life, the traveler who chooses their own path is the traveler who reaches the stars. Lesson 8. Become the master of your temple. You hold the key to the gates. You must become the master of your mind. The biggest problem? Most people are servants to their own thoughts. If their mind says, I am tired, they drop the pack. If their mind says, I can't cross this, they turn back. If their mind says, do it next year, they sleep. They follow every shadow without questioning it. And because of this, their life stays in the gray mist. The real truth? Your mind is not the king. Your mind is just an advisor. Sometimes the advice is wise, but many times it is based on old fears, lazy habits, and easy comfort. If you follow every advisor blindly, you will stay in the lowlands forever.
You must take the throne. You are not the voices. You are the master who hears the voices. You can choose which advisor to listen to, which shadow to ignore. This is real power. Simple example. Your mind says, I don't feel like training today. Most servants listen and stay in bed. But a master says, I hear that laziness, but I will still train. This is mastery. Control creates the open sky. It may feel heavy in the beginning, but when you master your mind, you become the wind. Free from the mud, free from the dark, free from the excuses. Now you move based on your destiny, not your mood. Train your mind daily, just like a warrior trains with the blade. Your mind needs the discipline. You cannot master it in one sunrise, but you can build the throne slowly. Every time you choose the climb over the sleep, you become a king. Every time you ignore a negative whisper, you grow. Pause before you bow. When a thought comes, don't bow to it immediately. Pause for a heartbeat. Ask yourself, is this leading me to the peak or back to the mud? If it is leading to the mud, don't follow it. Choose a better movement. You become what you practice. If you practice mastery daily, you become a legend. If you follow your shadows daily, you become a shadow.
Now stop for a moment and look at the valley below. What have you been whispering about your spirit all this time? Because the truth is, your life is not controlled by the stars, not by other travelers, not by the weather. Your life is controlled by your whispers. If you keep whispering small, you will live in a small hut. If you keep whispering fear, you will stay in the cage. But the moment you change your whispers, the world begins to change. Not in one heartbeat, but step by step. Your spirit grows. Your steps change. Your journey moves to the heights. So don't just hear these words in the temple. Walk them. Start today. Change one whisper. Take one step. And repeat it every single day. Because remember, you don't become what you want. You become what you plant. And if you found this wisdom helpful, keep it in your heart and share the light. We are here to help you reach the peak. One whisper, one step, one day at a time.